So what is the biggest challenge in today's market?
Oh my goodness, what is the biggest challenge in today's market? I think the most obvious for everybody that's even getting started to getting into the real estate market is affordability.
Yeah.
Everything, I mean, let's state the obvious. Everything is so expensive,
Yes.
right? Houses are a lot more expensive than they've been, the last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
So to be able to help as a real estate agent, first time home buyers or move up buyers is just having that, that reality check, that conversation that this is the prices that we're at right here in San Diego, and showing them the value of buying a home here in San Diego. So I think it's also so crucial to let them know you kind of have to start, small, or, have that reality check conversation with yourself and be like, okay, let's start off buying a condo, or maybe getting a smaller home that is a two-bedroom, or maybe looking into another different area that you were not looking into at the beginning. That way you can just get into real estate to be buying a home, right?
Yes, no, I agree. That kind of reminds me of my very first buyer. She and her husband bought a condo and they weren't too fond of it, but that was like 2020, everything was going, so they just immediately bought something to get their foot into the water into real estate. And they bought it, and that down payment was hefty for them. It was a sacrifice. Yeah. But they lived in there for 2 years. It was smaller than they wanted.
Right.
And they were able to sell it and put 120,000 towards their house now that they love.
So they got 120,000 of equity?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to build a lot of equity, but at the same time now they're in their dream home right now, like their forever home as of now. Let's see, who knows? They might be able to build more equity.
Yeah.
Buy another home.
See, so that made it possible because they bought a home that maybe they were in love with and they were just starting off, but that home gave them the opportunity and laid the foundation to be able to find the second home.
Yes.
And the second home that actually fits a little bit more of all the needs that they're looking for, right?
Yeah, and I mean, some people don't go that route sometimes. Some people stay the route with keeping the condo, renting it out, and imagine selling it 5, 10 years later.
Yeah.
How much equity that would have had even more.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much opportunities in real estate. I feel like that's why they need to have like good real estate agents to kind of show them all the avenues and options that they can do. And, and having that conversation with them and be like, hey, why don't we look at this route, or look at this route, maybe getting something smaller so that way you can eventually be able to get that other home, that second home. So.
Yeah, and something to take into consideration is when they buy their home, they get locked in on that mortgage. So during that time when rent was going up, they were stuck at a $1,200 mortgage,
Right.
which was amazing for them, and they were able to from there even save more, invest in other things.
Right.
And so I think that's something to take into consideration when you purchase that home. 5 years ago, the mortgage seems high at that time. But 5 years from now, rent is just only going to get higher.
Oh, for sure. I mean, and rent doesn't it's not your house, So if you decide renting, you won't have the opportunity to, build wealth because you're paying somebody else's mortgage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for example, if that buyer was renting for those 2 years, they wouldn't have 120,000 to put towards the house.
That's $120,000 cash towards your down payment.
Yeah, literally.
That's a lot.
I was reading somewhere, it was saying that the average person is able to save up to $10,000 a year.
Yeah.
And I just think that's crazy because that is true. It's hard in today's market and so forth. So that 20,000 they put into their condo was a sacrifice, but at the same time, they were able to save 120 within 2 years. And that's with doing nothing but living there.
Exactly. So why not buy a house to help you save money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
To help you buy that, forever home or close to forever home, your second house.
Yeah.